As you might have seen from some of my previous videos, I was playing a lot of ACC and have accumulated over 100 hours on it. And now I feel ready to give my full honest opinion on the sim. When I first started playing ACC, I had a bit of a difficult time trying to get used to the handling of the sim. I only picked it up for a few minutes here and there and didn't really play much of it, mainly because I was hooked on R Factor 2 at the time. But ever since I joined a racing league, I was starting to enjoy ACC a lot lately, mainly because a few friends were constantly encouraging me to pick up the sim and give it a proper go. So brief history on the sim. ACC had a rocky start at first with only having one track and one car in early access. When it left early access, it didn't really seem to have the players at first, but Kunos did manage to iron out most of the issues on the sim and has now got a dedicated fan base to playing at ACC, who are also a big fan of GT racing as a whole. So as usual with my reviews, I will start with what I like about ACC and what I strongly dislike about it. Fortunately, I can tell you that the good outweighs the bad in the sim, so I will go over it in brief detail. This is an unpaid, unsponsored review, and the developer has no influence of this review whatsoever, so you will get my full honest opinion on this without any influence from the manufacturers. To start the review, I will be talking about the graphics, and when I boosted up ACC, I was genuinely amazed by the graphics so much that it felt like genuine eye candy to me, especially with the tiny little details they have added to the environment of the sim. As you can see in this clip of me driving an Aston Martin around Paul Ricard, pay close attention to how the wiper blade is moving with the car. When I took notice of that myself, I said, "Oh good lord, that's amazing!" All thanks to the Unreal Physics engine that is used to help make the physics of the car feel more like real life. The little details like that in ACC just make it so immersive compared to other titles out there in the market. As if ACC isn't immersive enough, the sound is another huge plus point to the game. I can even hear the little tiniest sounds such as the gravel working its way in the car, the suspension, and even the car rubbing off the curbs and bumps in the road, which genuinely feels like you're driving a car. And that's what us sim racers love very much when it comes to titles like ACC. The game itself is officially licensed from the GT World Challenge, so it will include all the tracks, cars and teams from the GT World Challenge Championship in both Europe, America and Asia, with cars from both GT3 and GT4 from officially licensed teams and sponsors in the sim, so you as a fan will be able to go in depth to how a GT car works to its real life counterparts. If you're into league racing, then yes, this will be the sim for you, as ACC is a huge sim for league racing from the worldwide scene to the smaller leagues hosted with a few mates. At the time of writing this script, I'm currently competing in the Wiz Motorsports Racing League, which is hosted by a good friend of mine that I met on another Discord channel. Wiz Motorsports is currently hosting many championships, including the Tuesday night GT3 League, which I'm currently competing in. I will leave links to the league in the comment section, so if you're interested in joining the league, then this is one for you. Oh, and while you're there, when you do join the league, make sure to tell the boss that I sent you. So now those are what I like about the sim. Now here's what I dislike about it. I will start off with the biggest one, which is the track medal system. I feel the system is completely unnecessary to the sim, as it just adds another level of unnecessary grinding needed to be done to compete in certain tracks for online. Many times I wanted to jump into a race online, but I couldn't because I had to go back to offline practice to get the medals to compete online on that track, which I found to be genuinely annoying. On paper it sounds like a good idea, but it just adds another wall of unnecessary grinding to it. While the multiplayer is great if you just want to have a casual race, it's not so good for people like me who want to have a serious, clean race. The multiplayer isn't very organised nor monitored, which leads to professional racers having to race with dirty drivers causing crashes with each other. While there are open servers which filter out dirty drivers, they can be very hard to find. Personally, I think iRacing does the multiplayer scene better, where thanks to its iRacing system, you will be guaranteed to race with drivers on a similar level to you. AI is extremely imbalanced and is constantly driving like they are on rails. As you can see in a few of these clips, the AI are very frustrating to race against no matter what difficulty you have them on. It's extremely hard to find a good balance with them. They will either be too easy or too hard to race against no matter how you have it set. However, I can forgive this flaw because I mostly race online on ACC, so there is not much of an issue unless you're someone who solely races offline. But what I discovered from testing the AI, no matter how high you have the aggression, they will never fight each other for position. They'll happily fight against the player, but they never fight each other for position. They'll fight each other for the first lap or two, but then after that they just sit there behind each other, and then it's a game of follow the leader until the end of the race, which I genuinely found to be very lackluster and very annoying. In terms of VR, ACC for the most part was enjoyable, especially with this camera view of me being inside the helmet of the driver. Another huge point to add in the immersion of VR. However, the image I felt during gameplay was extremely choppy and was very taxing on my system. You will definitely need a computer with beefy specs to get the most out of playing VR within ACC. Now overall though, I enjoy ACC and I would definitely recommend it to anyone who is into sim racing looking to step up their game from previous titles such as iRacing, especially for those who do a lot of league racing. It's available on PlayStation 4 and 5, Xbox One and Series S and PC. It's available on Steam for €40, so it's well worth picking up. So I thank you now for watching my little short summary on ACC. Here's a brief recap on my overall opinion on ACC. And with that being said, unsubscribe, dislike, and tell me how wrong I am in the comment section below. Thanks for watching and have a good one.